sure? Because that's not usually what
Good morning. Welcome to the First Unitarian Church of Orlando. My name is Neil Boris, a member of this congregation and a member of the worship team here at 1U. With me today in service are our worship leader, Reverend Margalie Belizaire, our Director of Lifespan Religious Enrichment, Judith Stein-Farrall, and our Director of Music, Aubrey Connelly-Candelario, with the Chalice Choir, in red today. Yes, indeed. And our accompanist, Danny Monzon Villegas. We also have board member Michael Lewis today. Children will go to supervise free play after we sing them out after the time for all ages, and the nursery is open until noon today. We greet you this morning, old friends and new ones, as we explore our Unitarian Universalist faith, which draws us into a community of justice seekers with a commitment to lifelong spiritual growth and compassionate service to the community. As a Unitarian Universalist congregation, we are a non-creedal community that does not subscribe to a specific set of beliefs. We live, however, by a covenant that encourages ethical behavior, affirms democracy, celebrates the worth of each individual, and unites us in a search for truth and meaning. Whether today is your first or your 1,000th Sunday in our midst, you are welcome here. Whoever you are, whoever you love, you are welcome here. In this community, your whole self is welcome. We welcome your race, national origin, immigration status, gender identity, sexual orientation, age, physical or mental abilities, economic status, or religious background. We welcome you. Now, you can find more information about our congregation and the announcements I'm going to briefly review here. Just go to orlandouu.org or email us at info@orlandouu.org. Here are today's special announcements. First off, there will be no Wrestling with Our Understanding of Racism meeting today. The Conversation Corner, however, will be active in Gore Hall in the foyer following fellowship today, or during the fellowship time, I should say, following our service today. All are welcome, but a special invitation to our visitors. Just come and have a chat. The last strategic planning workshop is today from noon until 2 p.m. We'll gather in the assembly room. Childcare will be in the nursery. Please join. Welcome Wednesday on November the 8th with the Green Team in the assembly talking about zero waste. Please join. And then a special Vespers service on Lament, scheduled for Wednesday, November 29th at 6 p.m. This will be an opportunity for us to engage our grief and sorrow in light of all that's going on in the world. So mark your calendars for Wednesday, November 29th. Any other announcements are on the slides before and after the service and have links in the weekly update or on our website. If you'd like to follow along with today's service, you can use the QR code shown here behind me and on the first few slides today. So I thank you again for being here in person and for those of you streaming us online today. You are welcome.
Please say the words with me as we light the chalice. In the light of truth and in the warmth of love, we gather to seek, to sustain, and to share. And would you please rise in body or spirit and join me and all of you in singing our opening hymn, number 402, From You I Receive. We will sing the hymn 3 times, and the words for all the hymns will appear on the screen above.
From you I receive It is good to be with you this morning on this first Sunday of November, the month of gratitude, one might say, Thanksgiving and all. However, the theme we are exploring this month is generosity, which can be a way to experience gratitude. Today, we were going to consider how being generous with our faith, Unitarian Universalism. And keeping that in mind, I call us to worship with the words of Rebecca Ann Parker. Choose to bless the world. Your gifts, whatever you discover them to be, can be used to bless or curse the world. The mind's power, the strength of the hands, the reaches of the heart, the gift of speaking, listening, imagining, seeing, waiting. Any of these can serve to feed the hungry, bind up wounds, welcome the stranger, praise what is sacred, do the work of justice, or offer love. And any of these can draw down the prison door, hoard bread, abandon the poor, obscure what is holy, comply with injustice, and withhold love. You must answer this question: what will you do with your gifts? Choose to bless the world. The choice to bless the world is more than an act of will, a moving forward into the world with the intention to do good. It is an act of recognition, a confession of surprise, a grateful acknowledgement that in the midst of a broken world, unspeakable beauty, grace, and mystery abide. There is an embrace of kindness that encompasses all life, even yours. And while there is injustice, anesthetization, or evil, there move a holy disturbance, a benevolent rage, a revolutionary love, protesting, urging, insisting that which is sacred will not be defiled. Those who bless the world live their life with a gesture of thanks for this beauty and this rage. The choice to bless the world can take you into solitude, to search for the sources of power and grace, native wisdom, healing, and liberation. More, the choice will draw you into community, the endeavor shared, the heritage passed on, the companionship of struggle, the importance of keeping faith, the life of ritual and praise, the comfort of human friendship, the company of earth, the chorus of life, welcoming you. None of us alone can save the world, but together, this is another possibility waiting. So, beloveds, choose to bless the world. And today, right before we bless one another, I would like to welcome back into our community here, Reverend Kathy and Charlie. Who will be joining us in another capacity, of course, as member and or friend of this community. So as you greet one another, you may want to add a special welcome now or later. So let's greet one another, everyone.
have children in the building today? Okay, they did make it back. Okay, there they are. So I'd like to welcome our children, if they're so interested, to come up and join us for the Time for All Ages this morning. I may need a little help from them. My name, for anyone who doesn't know, is Judith Stein-Farrall. I am the director of Lifespan Religious Enrichment. That was meant to give our kids a couple moments to get up here. All right. Yay! I'm going to drop a few things here for you. Don't, just hold on to them for the moment. Yay, come on. So, babies, these aren't babies. Babies don't believe anything. No. Babies aren't born Buddhists or Baptists or believers of any sort. But soon after we arrive as babies, soon we start to gather ideas. I should have had a light bulb up there. We pick up, all right, everybody pick up those things. We pick up beliefs about people and animals and families. We collect ideas about stars and comets and how it all got started. We accumulate beliefs about good and bad, right and wrong, and healthy and unhealthy, and what is important in life. And all those beliefs, which we get from our parents and our friends and on the playground, from television and podcasts and religious education, go into our belief bag. Can I have some beliefs in here, please? Can you give me some beliefs in here, please? Thank you so much. Oops, there we go. Now, most religions, oh, thank you, that's important. Most religions define themselves by what they believe or what's inside this belief bag. Christians, for instance, believe in Jesus as the Son of God and all he taught. Muslims believe in Allah and following the Prophet Muhammad. Buddhists, among other things, have the Four Noble Truths, which I have another teaching on someday. Unitarian Universalists, however, don't have exactly just one set of beliefs, right? Do we all believe exactly the same thing? No? Right. With the help of supportive community, we each come to our own beliefs and through our common values. And what is really special about Unitarian Universalism isn't what we believe, but how we carry our beliefs. Because there are different ways of holding your belief bag. Okay? For example, some people hold it very tight and close to them and tightly sealed, and they don't let anything in or anything out or any new ideas that might threaten what's inside. They've got their world wrapped up nice and tight in a tidy package, and because their bag is closed up, we call these people closed-minded, maybe. On the other hand, some people are just the opposite, and they don't pay too much attention to what all goes into their bags. One idea is just as good as another, and if some folks believe it, or some folks are talking about it on the radio, or it's on the interwebs, it must be true. Because they carry all their belief bag in such a sloppy manner that we call these people kind of a little bit, I don't know, a little sloppy in their thinking, maybe. I don't like to judge people, but we wonder about where they get their thoughts from, right? And then there are people who carry their bags like this. If you don't believe what I believe, right? What do you mean you... Thank you. But none of this is the Unitarian Universalist way. Instead, we encourage people to carry their bags like this, right? Open at the top, so we can see what goes in and consider what goes in, and so new ideas and new concepts. And sometimes it's time to take something out and move it and put it somewhere else. We carry our bags in front of us, whoops, so we can see everything and share our thoughts with our neighbors and our friends. We never use our beliefs. We never use our beliefs to bully people, right? So that's what it means to be Unitarian Universalist. The next time someone asks you, what do you people in the Unitarian Universalist religion in your church believe? You can tell them. For Unitarian Universalists, it's less important about what we believe, but how we believe and how we share that counts. Thank you. And now, thank you. We will take our kids, send our kids outside under your loving arms so they can go practice what they've learned about and figure out what they believe.
Good morning, I am Michael Lewis. I'm a member of the Board of Trustees. We invite you now into the practice of generosity. It is one of our spiritual values which sustains the life and ministries of the church community. Let us be grateful for the opportunity to give, for it is a privilege to be able to do so. And let us be grateful for our needs, for they give us the opportunity to practice receiving. Today's full collection will go to the ministries of our Share the Plate partner for November, Planned Parenthood. The Alliance will match the collection for Planned Parenthood up to $1,000. Thank you, Alliance. Very nice. So give generously as you can. Let's learn about this fantastic organization from our very own Shirley Jansen. There she is.
Good morning. I'm Shirley Jansen, a member of this church for 39 years and the Alliance for 26. Thank you. This morning, our Share the Plate recipient is Planned Parenthood. I think the congregation is aware of the important services these clinics provide. Birth control, STD testing and treatment, transgender care, cancer screening are just a few. Today, I would like to share with you a short history about this church's participation in the beginning of Planned Parenthood in Orlando. It was spearheaded by a community activist in the early 1990s, and she was quickly joined by several Unitarian women from the alliance of this church. These members spent many hours stuffing envelopes for fundraising, organizing, and contributing their diverse services. Some gave large cash gifts to get a clinic established on West Colonial Drive in 1995. It was a refurbished house, and a Unitarian member held the mortgage because no bank would finance it. They were encouraged and advised by the Planned Parenthood Federation of America. The house clinic evolved to a bigger clinic on South Tampa Avenue and a second clinic near UCF. In 2016, Planned Parenthood of Greater Orlando merged with 2 other affiliates, and the regional headquarters is in Sarasota. The merger name is Planned Parenthood of Southwest and Central Florida. One of the members of our church, Marty Haney, of our congregation, sat on the board of directors for a few years. There are 12 clinics between Orlando and Naples. Locally, the Tampa Avenue building was sold, and today there is a clinic in Kissimmee and the East Side Clinic in Orlando. The clinics do not turn anyone away who cannot pay. Money is always an issue. Your donation may pay for an IUD or an STD test. I think we Unitarian understand family planning is the basis of an economically successful life. I'm proud of our history with Planned Parenthood and grateful to our church family for their support. Again, the Alliance will match $1,000. Thank you very much.
The offering will now be collected. Note that you can also give online using the link. Wow, this basket's full. Let us joyfully receive what is offered here today in the spirit of gratitude and fellowship. Thank you.
This is the time we set aside for deep sharing of our hearts, for prayer and for meditation. If you have a sorrow that you need witnessed or help with, or have a joy you wish to share, please contribute to our collective sharing of joys and sorrows to be read here on Sunday mornings during worship. During the week, you can email us at joysandsorrows@orlandouu.org. If you're attending in person, you can complete a card at the welcome table outside, and they make sure that we get it up here. And we also make space for you to hold on what you're either not ready to share or you simply want to hold on to during our quiet candle lighting ritual. So bring your joys and your sorrows as we come together. Come as you are. Your whole self is welcome here in this sacred space we are creating together. We have a couple of joys and sorrows to share from the community. The flowers here were provided by Catherine Vaccaro to honor the members and staff who make our Sunday school so special. That is something to be grateful for. We also have a joy from Rose Byler. I am thankful for this beloved community and a fun weekend of fellowship, first at the garden and then during a scavenger hunt at Lake Eola. I am blessed by the generosity of spirit of so many people, friends and strangers alike. We also have two sorrows to share from the community. One is from Sophie. I am asking for peace and light for my family during a hard time. Sophie, we send you and your family love and compassion and healing energy. We also have a sorrow from Jeannie Carter. While fighting cancer, my dog Molly suddenly went downhill. She was euthanized on October 20th. I will always love you, sweet girl. Sorry, Jeannie, for your loss. And from the larger community, it is Native American Heritage Month. So I pray for generational healing for that community. Veterans Day is on November 11th, so let us not forget those who died so that we might live. We continue to hold our Orlando community in love as Orlando in our state continues to need comfort and activism to eradicate hate. We also continue to hold our global community in love as continued conflict beset communities around the world, including in Gaza and Israel. May the violence end quickly. May those at the brunt of it receive the care they need, and may their basic needs be met. And for all the joys and sorrows of this community shared today and those held close to the heart, let us pray, let us celebrate, and let us send one another healing energy. And I invite us into prayer with the words of Reverend Dr. Rebecca Savage, all the holy nudges that we need. So close your eyes or keep them at a gaze if that feels right for you, and relax your body as much as you can, maybe 5% more relaxed than you are right now. Spirit of life, eternal beloved of mystery and grace, receive our prayer. We come before that which is greater than ourselves in gratitude for the fullness of our lives, for the anguish and grief that informs our mission to side with love again and again, for the suffering and disenfranchisement of our people that foment our passion for justice and wholeness, for complex lives, for hard lives, for real, full, and overwhelming lives. We give thanks for the blessings that we have been given, the reassurance of community, the steady warmth of hope, and the unwavering faith that there will be better days. We give thanks and seek your grace. Spirit of love, come alongside with all the holy nudges that we need so that we may live in such a way that we celebrate all the blessings that we have been given, so that we may be the blessings in the world. May it be so. And now you are invited to come forward and light a candle of remembrance, loving kindness, or hope. Neil, if you would light one more candle for those attending online. So the story goes that there once was a wise woman traveling all through the mountains. One day she found a precious stone in a stream. She was so happy and grateful it could change her life. The next day, she met a man traveling just like her through the mountains. He was hungry. She was happy to share her food. But when she opened her bag, the man saw the stone, and he knew that this stone would be able to feed him all of his favorite foods. So his mouth started watering, imagining all the incredible flavors, all the ways his life would be filled with so much goodness. Instead of the food, he asked, "Can I have the stone?" The woman looked at him and said, "Of course." And just like that, it was his. The man was so happy, he quickly ran away, afraid she would change her mind. A few days later, however, the man appeared, crying, carrying the stone in his hand. He said, "Take it back. Instead, I hope you can give me something even more precious than this precious stone. I hope you can give me whatever it is within you that made it so easy for you when I ask to just hand me the stone." In this place, for this hour, we are all trying to learn how it is when we are asked to trust, to love, to give of ourselves, to share our blessings, that we can say an easy and great yes. And also, we are here to remember we all carry with us a precious stone that is great blessing. This gift that is just ours. This gift that we long to offer the world, that in our giving will bless us all the more. Reverend Gretchen Haley.
To the test. Tie your napkin round your neck, Sherry, and we provide the rest. Soup du jour, hors d'oeuvres, why we only live to serve. Try the grace of it's delicious. Don't believe me? Ask the dishes. They can sing, they can dance. After all this is France. And the dinner here is never second best. Go on and fold. Our guest, be our guest. Beef ragout, cheese soufflé, pie and pudding en flambe. We'll prepare and serve with flair a culinary cabaret. You're alone and you're scared, but the banquet's all prepared. No one's gloomy or complaining while the flatware's entertaining. We'll tell jokes, I do tricks. tallow candlesticks, and it's all in perfect taste, as you can bet. Come on and lift your glass with your own free pass to be our guest. Be our guest. Be our guest. Please be our guest.
One of the values included in the proposed Article 2 is generosity. And with regards to it, it is noted, we cultivate a spirit of gratitude and hope. And it continues, we covenant to freely and compassionately share our faith, presence, and resources. Our generosity connects us to one another and relationships of interdependence and mutuality. We covenant to freely and passionately share our faith. How do we do that as you use? As a people that doesn't generally evangelize, what does sharing our faith mean, and how do we do that? And in a hurting and suffering world, one that needs hope, Unitarian Universalism is much needed. It is or can be a beacon of hope, offering values that can be a life-saving balm to a world in need. Still, what does it mean to be generous with our religion? How do we ensure that our faith remains relevant and comforting to a suffering and hurting world? So these are some of the vital questions that I endeavor to explore with you today. Unitarian Universalism has a rich and evolving history. We have not been stagnant in our beliefs. We can see that by simply looking at how Article 2 itself has changed. So we have moved from a tradition of being solely Christian to one that is embracing of all faith tradition. We have also moved from a patriarchal system where all of our ministers were men or male identified to ministers of numerous gender identities. Additionally, we have moved from an all-white or white-identified ministers to ministers of numerous races and ethnicity, and so on. So we have inherited a religious tradition that changes and evolves. And as such, we need to recognize the importance of allowing this faith to move, to change, to grow with the times. Generosity with our religion means embracing this inherent capacity for change. It means having the courage to question, adapt, and evolve while remaining grounded in our core values of love, justice, compassion, and acceptance. We must be willing to explore new perspectives, to challenge our own beliefs, and to listen deeply to the voice of those who are suffering. We know better, we do better, as Maya Angelou said. We must also understand that our principles are not set in stones, but are living, breathing expressions of our values. This adaptability is one of our strengths, allowing us to stay relevant and effective in addressing the needs of an ever-changing world. Recognizing and understanding these are important parts of being generous. Generosity is more than giving material resources. It is a disposition of the heart. It is about cultivating a spirit of gratitude and hope that leads us to freely and compassionately share our faith. And this generous stance connects us to one another in relationships of interdependence and mutuality. As I noted just a short while ago, we don't, as a religion, generally evangelize. We certainly don't go door to door. Been there, done that. I would venture to say that we don't evangelize in the traditional Christian way. However, how we live our values within these walls and outside of these walls and the world is a form of evangelizing. And I am talking about evangelizing because we do so whether we call it that or not. Whether we say we're evangelizing, we are evangelizing, and generosity is a way that it is manifested. Generosity with our religion means creating welcoming spaces, spaces that are inclusive for all, kind of like if you build it, they will come. In a world that often alienates and discriminates, generosity demands that we are inclusive and affirming, that our spaces are such that they can be experienced as a refuge for people of all backgrounds, beliefs, and identities, where they can find solace when they need it. And in doing so, we offer a safe haven for those seeking acceptance, for those seeking understanding, providing a tangible example of our values in action. We must ensure that our congregations and communities reflect this inclusivity. And it takes each and every one of us to make that happen. So, how do you think we appear to someone seeking a spiritual home? So if someone were to drive by our building, can they tell that they might be welcome here? If somebody looks at our website, can they tell that they might be welcome here? Or if they look at our social media posts, can they tell that they might be welcome here? Can they tell that there is room for them here to make meaning and to find companions on their religious journeys? In a world torn by division and conflict, we need to find ways to engage those who are reaching to hear the good news of Unitarian Universalism, those who are seeking refuge from the storms of life. Ultimately, being generous with our religion is about living our faith authentically and with integrity. As Reverend Susan Frederick Gray noted once, this is no time for casual faith. We must embody the values and principles of Unitarian Universalism in our daily lives, setting example for others to follow. When we are seen as living embodiments of our faith, we invite others to inquire, learn, and join us in our journey toward a more just, compassionate, and equitable world. Being generous with our faith also means responding to the suffering in our world with empathy and action. It means participating in social justice movements and advocating for positive change. We can collaborate with other communities and faith to address pressing global issues, showing that our religion is not an insular club, but a force for positive change in the world. Our faith calls us to action. Our faith encourages us to confront the injustices and inequalities that plague humanity. It inspires us to advocate for change, support those who are marginalized, and provide a sanctuary of love for all who seek it. And really, showing up, how we show up for justice is different for everyone. For some of us, it is protesting. For others, it is volunteering with an organization that is doing good work. For others, it is financial support. But our faith calls us and encourages us to be that example in the world. For many of us who did not grow up as UUs, we are all aware of the treasure that Unitarian Universalism is. So to be generous with it is to recognize the transformative power of Unitarian Universalism. We must remember that it is not something we should hold on to so tightly that it becomes a barrier for others. We must strive to hold our faith with an open hand, willing to share it with others who so badly need our life-saving faith. Our religion needs to remain accessible to those seeking it. And that may mean that it doesn't look exactly the way we individually want it to look. It may mean changing with times some of the ways that we do or did things. I imagine that many of our religious ancestors would not recognize our present-day Unitarian Universalism, the very one we inherited from them. Our UU is not their UU, it is ours. It is the one we are continuously building and shaping. It is the one that we will pass on to future generations. Consequently, we cannot hold on to it so tightly, refusing to allow it to change. It is not simply yours or simply mine, it is ours. Allowing our religion to grow and change in a way that makes it accessible to the many that needs it is the most generous thing we can do with our faith for this world. Imagine this religious tradition as a precious gift, one that you have been entrusted with. While it is meant to nurture your spirit and provide you with a sense of purpose, it is also a gift that ought to be shared. And our faith is not finite. It is not a finite resource. It is an ever-flowing river that we can dip into and offer to others. When we are generous with our faith, we create a ripple effect that touches the lives of those around us, fostering connections of love, understanding, and support. Let us remember that our faith can be a lifeboat for those who are adrift on a sea of doubt, fear, and despair. And by generously sharing our faith, we offer a lifeline to those people, those who are struggling, a source of inspiration to those seeking meaning, a safe harbor for those in need of acceptance. Let's widen the circle, even as we grieve the loss of what was familiar. In a world that needs the life-saving values of Unitarian Universalism, generosity with our religion is a sacred duty. Let us allow our faith to evolve and adapt, to respond to the pressing needs of our time. And we do this by remaining grounded in our core values while actively addressing the suffering and the injustices of our world, the things that are going on in our world. Our faith offers comfort and hope, but it is through our generosity that it can truly be a beacon of life, of light to those in darkness. We are called to love, to act, to stand in solidarity with those who are hurting. Let us be generous with our religion, ensuring that the timeless values of Unitarian Universalism continues to bring healing, love, and understanding to the world. As you use, we covenant freely and compassionately to share our faith, presence, and resources with those who need it most. And this act of generosity will not only strengthen our connection with one another, but also fulfill the promise of our faith to inspire hope, to promote understanding, and to embrace the beauty of diversity. Let us reaffirm our commitment to being generous. Let us hold our faith with an open hand, recognizing that it is a gift meant to be shared. Let us go forth from this sacred space, ready to be generous with our faith, sharing the life-saving gift of love, hope, and acceptance with all who cross our path. May we be so blessed. If you would now rise in body or spirit and join me in singing our closing hymn, When Our Heart is in a Holy Place. May we leave here blessed by our connections to one another and to the Spirit of life. Spread your arms, feel the joy, live to love and be a blessing to this earth. Reverend Susan Carlson. Beloveds, worship has ended, and now the service truly begins. So, as a call to action, this Tuesday is election day, so go you the vote. And please join me as we extinguish the chalice. Words, yep. We extinguish this flame, but not the light of truth, the warmth of community, or the fire of commitment. These we carry in our hearts until we are together again.